Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. I hope you're all staying safe and well, safe and well. Today or tonight, wherever you are, in today's video, we're doing a little book haul. Well, I don't know if it's little, but it's a book haul. So sit back and relax. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on post notifications. Do not miss a video from me. And let's get into it. I have on Christmas tree earrings that you can't even see. The lighting just doesn't really work unless it's like the weekend because it gets dark so early now. Early. But I did get some Christmas earrings and I'm gonna try to take some with me when I go to my family's around Christmas. I have sparkly, black nail polish on. And I'm recovering from a cold, so please do excuse that. Okay, so number one, we have Iron Flame, the highly anticipated second book in the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, aka the sequel to Fourth Wing. So, if you've seen my previous videos, you know I adored Fourth Wing. So I'm very excited for this book. It is longer than Fourth Wing though, so that is intimidating. But it has the nice black sprayed edges, which I don't know if I have any other sprayed edges books. But yeah, I thought I would read this as soon as it came out, but I had another highly anticipated book that came out like a week or two before it, which was the Once Upon a Broken Heart finale, and so I read that one, and I feel like that one kind of contributed to the reading slump I was in, and I just don't feel like ready to read another fantasy now. But I've been looking forward to this one for a long time, and I love Zayden so much. He's one of my top book boyfriends, so I'm very excited for when I do read this. I know some people said that it was like too long though, so I'm nervous because I don't typically love long books. Like, in some cases I do, but usually I feel like long books don't need to be as long as they are, so I'm kind of nervous. Like, I feel like Fourth Wing was a good size and it went around different seasons. It was kind of like Harry Potter, but thicker, more in depth, and it was nice, it worked. But I'm nervous for this one since it is thicker. It does have the stunning cover with the flames, the fire. I don't know what this is. Nail polish, maybe, on my fingers. I don't know. But yeah, I guess Rebecca Yarros has other books besides Fourth Wing, which I didn't know, but somebody talked about it in a video, and I was like, oh, so now I want to look up and read other books by Yarros. I know online some people were saying that they think the trope that happens at the end of Fourth Wing, the big surprise twist, was like so 2015 or whatever, which it was, but I was like, just because it was 2015 doesn't mean that it can't make a comeback. Like, I loved that trope. So that was my opinion. So this is the second book in the Magnolia Parks Daisy Hates World series. So this is the first Daisy Hates centered book. So in Daisy's books we get POVs from her, Christian, which is one of her lovers, and one of Magnolia's exes, and Julian Hates, who's one of Magnolia's lovers. So, and is Daisy's brother. So I love Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, which is the second Daisy Hates book. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get the whole series because there are like text messages from Julian to Magnolia in this book, and it's kind of cute to see the start of their thing. So I did decide to get the physical copy of this one too, even though this is probably like my least favorite book in the series, because Daisy has like weird like footnotes in her books, and we don't see as much of Magnolia and Julian yet in this one. So this is really more of like Daisy and Christian and what was her other lover's name, Roman or something. And yeah, I just don't care as much about their like love triangle as Magnolia with Julian and BJ, their little love triangle. So yeah, I did get the physical copy, and I do like the sound this kind of cover makes. I'll read you the back. All 20-year-old Daisy Hates has ever wanted is a normal life, but that's just not in the cards. Daisy Hates is princess of London's most notorious family, raised by her older brother Julian, a London game lord, after their parents were murdered in front of them 12 years ago. Daisy has never lived beyond his watchful gaze. Julian's line of work means that Daisy's life is complicated, and things don't become any less complex when she falls hard for Christian Hems, the beautiful and emotionally unavailable boy she's been involved with for the past few months, who also happens to be one of the few men in London who doesn't answer to Julian. Christian's life is no walk in the park and all. He's happy to use Daisy to disguise his true affections. He's either been in love with Magnolia Parks, his best friend's girlfriend. He's happy enough to use Daisy to disguise his true affections, that is, until she starts to infiltrate those two. As Daisy and Christian's romance blossoms into something neither were anticipating, Daisy, Christian, and Julian each have to come to terms with the fact that in this life, everything comes at a price. As their relationships intersect and tangle, they all learn that sometimes life's most worthwhile pursuits can only be paid in blood. That sounds intense. much. So, yeah. The Gucci Mane Guide to Greatness by Gucci Mane. Of course, the classic gold dust jacket. Does it sound like rain? Okay. Now this was recommended in somebody's video. I don't remember their name. Was it Hannah Boo ASMR maybe? But I don't know, but this was recommended in somebody's book video. And it is Ron Plays Ron Time by Gillian McAllister. And let me read the back. It says, "Can you stop a murder after it's already happened? Late October, after midnight, you're waiting up for your 18-year-old son. He's past curfew. As you watch from the window, he emerges and you realize he isn't alone. He's walking toward a man and he's armed. You can't believe it when you see him do it. Your funny, happy teenager kills a stranger right there on the street outside your house. You don't know who, you don't know why, you don't know your son is now, you only know your son is now in custody. His future is shattered. That night you fall asleep in despair, all is lost, until you wake, and it is yesterday, and then you wake again, and it's the day before yesterday. Every morning you wake up a day earlier, another day before the murder, with another chance to stop it. Somewhere in the past lies an answer, the trigger for this crime, and you don't have a choice but to find it." So I thought that sounded like a nice, thriller. I don't read a lot of thrillers, so I thought this would be a nice change of pace. I really like movies like this. So, yeah, it sounds good. Let me know if you've read it, if you liked it, or if you have recommendations for other books like this. That sound is like hit or miss to me. Ron. Time. Ouch. Then, second to last, I also got Elanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. Never read anything by this author or the previous author. But I don't know, I think this was in the recommended based on what I was browsing on Amazon. And because it was Cyber Monday and there were deals. But let's read what the back says. "No one's ever told Elanor that life should be better than fine. Meet Elanor Oliphant. She struggles with appropriate social skills and tends to say exactly what she's thinking. Nothing is missing in her carefully timetabled life, where weekends mostly consist of frozen pizza, vodka, and phone chats with Mummy. But everything changes when Elanor meets Raymond, the bubbling IT guy from her office, whose big heart will ultimately help Elanor find the way to repair her own profoundly damaged one. Smart, warm, and uplifting, Elanor Oliphant is Completely Fine is the story of an out-of-the-ordinary heroine whose deadpan weirdness and wit make an irresistible journey as she realizes the only way to survive is to open your heart." Okay, so that sounded cute enough. I feel like I've love at first sight doesn't exist anywhere but in the movies. But then, through a misted up bus window on snowy December day, she sees a man who she knows instantly is the one. Their eyes meet, there's a moment of pure magic, and then her bus drives away. Certain they're fated to find each other again, Laurie spends a year scanning every bus stop and cafe in London for him. But she doesn't find him, at least not when it matters. Instead, they reunite at a Christmas party when her best friend Sarah giddily introduces her new boyfriend to Laurie. It's Jack, the man from the bus. It would be. What follows for Laurie, Sarah, and Jack is 10 years of friendship, heartbreak, missed opportunities, roads not taken, and destinies reconsidered. One Day in December is a joyous, heartwarming, and immensely moving love story to escape into, and a reminder that fate takes inexplicable turns along the route to happiness. So this sounds like a book that will aggravate me, but that I'll love, because I love pining in books. Like, give me all of the pining in books. I want to see the characters, like, built up pining for years for their loves. Like, yes, give it to me in books. So, that should be fun. Or in movies, like, Love, Rosie is one of my favorite movies, and the whole movie is just right person, wrong time, right person, wrong time, right person, wrong time. So that's always fascinated me, so I think this will be a fun, albeit aggravating book. So yeah, guys, if you made it to the end of this video, put a snowflake in the comments down below for December. One day in December. And yeah, I need some hash browns. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do a ramble soon because, you guys, I saw the new Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie, and I have feelings, I have thoughts, okay? And then I watched Hunger Games 1, which I sort of kind of watched that when it came out in middle school, but I was like half paying attention, half wasn't, so it was basically like me watching it for the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, this movie is so iconic, like the hype was actually so worth it. So now I'm in my Hunger Games era. I did get super into Divergent back in the day, and I remember I read the first book of the Hunger Games and I read the first book of Divergent, and I didn't read further into the series of either of them, but I was more into Divergent because I related to the main character more and the not knowing like which box to put yourself into, whereas Katniss's story was a little more dire and whatnot. But I didn't continue reading Divergent because I knew like stuff that was gonna happen to the main character, and I was like, I don't want to read it. No, I love her. But I also didn't continue reading the Hunger Games because I remember the ending of that book freaked me out. I read it in middle school, and I remember those like weird like wolfy mud things like they didn't do in the movie what they did in the books, and in the books it was so creepy, and so I was like freaked out and was like, I don't want to read any more of the books. But watching the movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, they ate that movie up. Okay, I'm obsessed. So I'm now currently in my Hunger Games era. Even though I was more a Divergent girly back in the day, and I'm still a Divergent girly. I love Divergent, okay? No Divergent slander. No Divergent slander over here. But yeah, so I just watched both of those movies, and yeah, I'm just, I have feelings, is all I'll say. I cried when Rue died. I cried. But yeah, anyways, so I want to do a ramble, maybe like a what I've been watching or something. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing, and I hope to see you